As human beings, we all live in caves. We see only shadows of images. This is the truth as we know it, and this knowledge comes from what we see and hear. We are trapped in a cave of misunderstanding. When we leave that cave and look towards the light, someone will say that what we saw before was an illusion. But now, when he is approaching nearer to being, and his eye is turned towards more real existence, he has a clear vision. He will grow accustomed to the sight of the upper world. When he remembers his old habitation, and the wisdom of the den, and his fellow prisoners, he will pity them. This is the process of moving from becoming to being. Are you coming out of the light, or going into the light? Either way, your vision will be affected. You cannot put knowledge into the soul. That capacity of learning already exists and simply needs to be unleashed. The instrument of knowledge can only, by the movement of the whole soul, be turned from the world of becoming into that of being. Being self-taught, they cannot be expected to show any gratitude for a culture they never received. The best minds need to be compelled to attain that knowledge. Once attained, they need to descend again among the prisoners of the den and partake of their labors. Neither the uneducated and uninformed of truth will be able ministers. Those who govern ought not to be lovers of the task. He governs for the good of the people, as a service. Who, then, are those whom we shall compel to be guardians? Surely they are wise and have other honors and a better life than the politics. Wherefore, each of you, when his turn comes, must go down to the general underground abode and get the habit of seeing in the dark. When you have acquired this habit, you will see 10,000 times better than the inhabitants of the den. The thinking mind is compelled to look at small and great. The study which we are seeking leads naturally to reflection. The true use of it is simply to draw the soul towards being.
What I learned?
Yeah, what did you learn today?
Make our shots.
Make your shots. Down. Come.
Impressions which invite intellect move us through the process of becoming to being. Pure truth lies beyond what you see, but within what you reason. His mind was the percipient, and not his eyes. Senses are not a source of sure knowledge. The mind is the source of sure knowledge. Knowledge is to be apprehended by reason and intelligence, but not by sight. Seek all things which compel the soul to turn her gaze towards the full perfection of being which she ought to be. In every man there is an eye of the soul, which when by other pursuits lost and dimmed, is by these purified and re-illumined, and is more precious far than 10,000 bodily eyes, for by it alone truth is seen. There is a perfection which all knowledge ought to reach, and which our pupils ought also to attain. When all these studies reach the point of intercommunication and connection with one another, will the pursuit of them have value. Otherwise, there is no profit in them. When a person starts on the discovery of the Absolute, by light of reason only, and without any assistance of sense, and perseveres until by pure intelligence he arrives at absolute good, and finds himself at the end of the intellectual world. As being is to becoming, so is pure intellect to opinion. Release the prisoners from chains. Translate the shadows into images of true existence, and raise the faculties that will transform from becoming to being. At the end of time, They must be sent down again into the den and compelled to hold an office which young men are qualified to hold. They will get their experience of life and will stand firm or flinch.
So if you guys flinch, you lose. Don't flinch.